is Daniel Carrasco. Good day. I'm the portal team lead, the GIS portal team lead for SoCalGas. So I'm in charge of all the requirements gathering, delivering these portal applications, these GIS applications to our departments. And then I've also taken on a role of coordinating our GIS emergency responders with our emergency management team to provide that GIS support through all of these emergency type of events. So this is about SoCalGas, really high level customers we serve. We serve over 21 million customers. You can see that green area, that's our service territory. And essentially we provide gas to people. We provide natural gas. That's at a high level, that's what we do. But with that, there's a lot of concerns and risk mitigation that we need to worry about. So at SoCalGas, we have an emergency management team. They're 24/7 shop because gas is flowing 24/7. And at any time, usually at the worst time on a holiday, on a weekend, on a weeknight, on your day off, etc., that's when we'll have an emergency. I don't know why, but that seems to be the timing of it. So we have employees that are on a rotating schedule, on-call schedule, waiting for something to happen. In the past, what they've done is staying up all night, searching through our local news sites, searching through social media, watching TV, on the news, listening to radio, waiting for something to happen. As you can imagine, doing that is very stressful and takes up a lot of time, and you're looking for something that may not ever show up. So when something does show up, though, they're the ones that mobilize. They assess the threat level. It could be coming from the field directly. So a field employee says, hey, a pipeline is broken. They'll reach out, or a fire is going on, and then the emergency management team is the one that reaches out to GIS. Hey, we need a map. We need to know what's going on. We need the situational awareness. They'll reach out to engineering. We need an analysis of the system. We need to know what valves to shut off. We need to make this safe. They'll talk to the media. Okay, you need to go talk to the news sources and give them an update of what's going on, etc. So the emergency management team is that top level, and then they start communicating to all the other teams to mobilize for an emergency. So all of this is to say that we want to create that situational awareness for all of these teams to primarily protect our customers, to protect our employees, and to protect our gas facilities. Those are our three main concerns. We want to be safe. We want to make sure our people are safe, and we're going to do everything we can to get to that. And obviously, the quicker we do it, the quicker we can resume normal business and prevent anything catastrophic from happening. So this is a little bit disclaimers of what the next few slides are. Some of the numbers are for demo. The distributing, we're putting this on YouTube, so that's fine. But anything outside of this group, we do ask for that permission. So now I'll go into the dashboard. Similar to what Esri showed earlier, we created a dashboard for our use at SoCalGas. And you can see similar layout on the very top. Let me see. At the very top, you have your filters to filter the event types. And then here's a high-level view of the event types within our service territory. So here we'll go through the different features on the dashboard. So here you can filter within the last few days, or because we have planned demonstrations, sometimes they're planned in the future. So in the next 24 hours, in the next couple days, etc. You could also filter for a specific date. And then we realized, California during the summer months, it's pretty much on fire everywhere. And as Pete mentioned, we had 6 of the largest fires last year. So here we added a filter to where you can filter by the specific fire name. When a fire gets large enough, they name it, and that's how they refer to it as the event continues. Here, each one of these boxes are different event types that we monitor that are important to us for our business. And so each one is its own widget box. And then here we have 3 different indicators. So this shows the total number. You can see the history, and then you can see the list. And I'll show you that in a couple slides. So here, as I mentioned, well, let's start on the right. You can filter by a particular fire name. When you do that, it'll take you to it'll show you the particular fire icon. And you can see it's a little bit more transparent. This was one of our bigger fires from last year. And so the way we have it set up is as the event gets more and more into the past, the events become less and less visible, more and more transparent. And so that helps us keep that history, but also not clutter the map. Then here you have your pop-up where you can see all of the event details. Here you have a URL. And then here, if you go to the list, you can see the event details, same thing with the fire, in a little bit more organized view. And then you can go to the event details, and this will take you to the same URL. So the URL that I keep referring to is very similar to what you saw earlier. I kind of describe it as Data Capable's blog of the event. So here, it gives all of the details similar to what we saw here in this nice little format. And then it'll show all of the different posts relating to the event. So as the event grows, specifically, let's say for wildfires, you get a brush fire and it goes away. Sometimes it gets a lot larger. As it gets larger, as it gets more contained, it becomes smaller. So we want to track all of those events and all of those postings until it says it's 100% contained. So this is where you could see all of the different posts, and these are some example sources, social media, local news sources, etc. Things that I explained earlier that our emergency management team was doing manually. So we had explanations where there was bookmarks, and they would go through each bookmark, each web page, and then check if there's anything important in our area. So this really makes it a one-stop shop for everyone. So again, this is some examples for that fire that I just showed. You can see this is our local news. This is Los Angeles Times, digital newspaper. And then this is a weather site that talks about storm reports. So here there was a feature that was reported that there was the fire. And so that was just another source that was added to these posts. So again, as this happens, the emergency management team can continue to get more data, continue to provide that situational awareness to all those different groups that would need it. The next thing I wanted to talk about, we know where a fire can be. We know that a fire has a point, but I talked about the fire growing in size. I don't know if many of you have experience with wildfires, but as you can imagine, if a fire gets large enough, your home could be in danger if you're in that area, so you're going to need to evacuate. So with these evacuations, with these wildfires, we create evacuation zones. And so within these evacuation zones, we do some analysis, some GIS analysis to figure out, well, are there any employees living in the area? How many customers are affected? How many miles of pipeline is affected? Are there any valves? Are there any vehicles crossing that area, etc.? So we want to get these polygons on a map so we can provide that situational awareness. Before we started using Data Capable, the emergency management team would come to us with a snippet like this. We have the area south of East Sunset Drive on this street. We get a PDF picture like this that says how many footage of pipe is in this area. And it's literally a picture, a PDF document that we have to digitize, impose on our map. And obviously that takes a lot more time because digitizing, it's almost like drawing it over, tracing it over again. So it makes it difficult. So what Data Capable was able to do is take these words and convert them into a polygon. And so that saves us the time of cleaning up the work, making the data work for the team, and we can go straight into the analysis. So that's a huge value add for us. And again, what we talked about in terms of being more efficient, getting those answers a lot quicker, this is huge. So now we'll talk about a little bit about evacuations and fire perimeters. Again, for our purposes, they're essentially polygons. So for this other fire, we had Brooder fire. Now this is the Bond fire. You can see all of these different polygon types. So again, we use these polygons to impose on our internal map. Our internal map has all of our gas facilities and all of our pipelines. And so we'll be able to run an analysis and say, this is the impact on this fire. And as it grows, as it gets worse, as it gets better, we can update what that impact is. So again, this is what it looks like for an evacuation zone. And again, same type of details. You'll have your polygon, and then you'll have your blog site with the aggregated data. And then same thing with the fire perimeter. You'll have your aggregated data and all of the different posts talking about this particular event. So again, for that particular event that I just showed, these are some more news sources. Like I mentioned, it's not all social media. You'll get traffic alert, and these cameras are actual traffic cameras that capture fire. And when they capture fire events, that's a news source that that can be showed. So again, it's social media, news sources, traffic cameras, and then this is a radio station. This is their radio website, but we've had it where a radio recording through like a ham radio, a police recording came in saying, we have a fire, or the fire department. So that's just another radio source. And then this was another huge value add that was important in the summer months and closer to the election time. A lot of planned demonstrations were going on within our service territory, so we wanted to make that available, make that an event type, so that we could notify our employees, our field employees, to say, hey, maybe don't go to that area if it's not an emergency, if it's a regular service call, maybe go there tomorrow, or maybe go there later in the day, or go there earlier in the day, because we know that there's going to be a demonstration in the afternoon. So when we were working with Data Capable, we identified this as a need. They were able to rework their algorithm to filter for planned demonstrations, and then they were able to provide that as an event type for us. That was done within, I think, 24 to 48 hours, and we were already tracking this. So you can see we went for a particular date, and then I go to the news source, and then you can see the banner or the flyer for that particular event. So this, again, I mentioned this is for the next hour, because they were popping up. People were posting on social media 1 hour before the event, so law enforcement wasn't aware, so we were able to set filters for the next hour, next 2 hours, day, 2 days, etc. So all of that is to say that as new event types, so maybe fire events or planned protests 2 years ago wasn't a concern to us, but then it was. If 2 years down the line we have a new event type that is of concern to us, it can be added very easily. And so again, this is just the one-stop shop for all of our emergency employees to come in and take a look at this instead of sifting through all of the data individually. And so just before we go into questions, I just wanted to show this. So this is our dashboard. Internet's a little bit slow, so didn't want to do a live demo, but just wanted to show you. You can see the history, you can see the list of all of the different wildfires. And so a user can come in and check all of the information here. And then this is what that blog site for this particular event is. So pretty much what I showed in the slides, but I just wanted to show this live little demo before we went into questions. So with that, any questions?